guys, it's Ian at SS8000 Cars, and we've come over to the Ferrari stand. Now the big news today is the launch of the F8 Tributo, which was launched at 10:30 this morning. On the Ferrari stand and on the internet about 5 or 10 days ago. Come with me and we'll go and have a look. So I want to point out here that the F8 Tributo name is a tribute to the V8 turbo in this car. So it's paying homage to the engine that powers it. Ferrari were voted best V8 turbo engine in 2016, 2017 and 2018. And last year the 488 Pista also got that accolade of best engine in the world, not just turbos. So, you know, they're very pleased with themselves, and I think that's probably influenced the name. It's a great looking car, isn't it? I mean, you just look at the way that it's got a low stance. I love the new 4 lights at the back, very much like my 575 from earlier years. And of course the F430 had the 4 lights as well, and it was really the 458 was the first car to have 2 lights, 1 light either side. Pretty significant diffuser on the back of the car, as you can see, because the exhausts have been raised. It's right the way across the side of the car. Now, it's got a great stance, hasn't it? I mean, it's really low. I like the aero. In fact, in some ways, I actually prefer the aero on this car to the 488 Pista. But quite a number of the points on the Pista are followed over to the car. So for example, the S duct at the front of the car provides an extra 15% efficiency to the downforce. You can see quite clearly where the air comes through that front duct above the splitter and then comes up over the bonnet right in the center of the car. But aerodynamic efficiency is up overall by 10% on the 488. And other carryovers from the 488 are the rearward angled front radiators and the rear air intakes. I just think it's a very cohesive car. Nice inside. Now the inside is new as well, and it's got the same basic structure as the 488, but it's been redesigned. It has a 7.4-inch infotainment center screen, has a smaller steering wheel, and basically the dials are pretty similar to the way that they were in the 488. This one has the bucket racing seats, as you can see, and moving further down you can see the air duct in the side of the car, which I've never been quite sure about. The 458 had a lovely smooth body, and I think that sort of detracts from it, but it is purposeful. Side slip ankle control allows the car to slide, but always within your control of the electronics. Interestingly, you can see that they're using a perspex type glass with louvres in it, very like the F40, and the engine here is just spectacular. It's almost all in carbon fibre. Is that beautiful? I mean, it's just perfect in my opinion. Bit like the Speciale, and there's lots of it on display. Unlike the 720S, as you know, which you can't see very much of the engine anymore, which I think is a huge pity. Now the headline figures for this engine are 3.9 litre V8 twin turbo producing 710 brake horsepower, same figure incidentally as the 488 Pista, 568 pounds-foot of torque, 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds, and 0 to 124 miles an hour, which is 200 kilometers, in 7.8 seconds. Now that's 0.1 second incidentally faster than the 720S. You know, it's based upon an aluminium architecture, as in the 488. The F8 Tributo weighs in at 1330 kilograms, which is 47 kilograms more than the 720, but it's 40 less than the 488. So Ferrari are moving in the right direction with their aluminium platform. It's also equipped, the car is also equipped with FDE, which is a Ferrari dynamic enhancement. And basically what this does is it controls the on-limit driving capabilities of the car. Although I would question how many Ferrari drivers drive at the absolute limited limit. I'd say this is probably more the racing driver sphere, but there you have it. Right, let's move across to the Rosso Red Ferrari F8 Tributo on the other side of the Ferrari stand. Always good to look at a Ferrari in red. I actually quite impressed with the styling on this car. I think there's a very cohesive nature to it. I think it's sort of finished off at the back with the twin lights, which I like. I like the fixed rear spoiler with the lip. I think that's smart. Okay, I think maybe we should get inside the car and have a look at some of the controls. So, new styled Ferrari latch to let you into the car, and as we said with the blue one, it's not dissimilar to the 488, despite the fact that it's been redesigned. I assume that it's been redesigned to make it a bit easier to use. Lots of carbon inside. As you can see on the steering wheel, we have the 5 lights at the top, which denote when you're getting close to your rev limiter. I've always liked that on a Ferrari. I think it's rather smart, and this is a smaller carbon fibre steering wheel than we had in the 488. Apparently makes it a bit more responsive. The dials in front of you, to be truthful, with the centre rev counter, are very, very similar to the way they were in the 488. Do you know, one of the things that they're doing on Ferraris now is matte carbon finish. And like on the doors here, I really like that. I really like the matte finish. Lots of visibility in the car. Really quite large screen behind the driver to let you see out. One of the really nice things is that the twin turbo engine is revs right the way up to 8,000 revs. I think that's really good. Quite important to have a high revving engine in a serious sports car. So in conclusion, what do I think of the F8 Tributo? Well, I'm telling you, definitely on my list for my next car. I am really taken with this car. I love the looks. Masses of power, and apparently very civilised to drive on a day-to-day basis. Okay guys, see you later.